These ponies are right near camp. They walk right past. I set the tripod up here. So I set the camera up and you can see camp. Good morning. We're on Dartmoor. I did do a long pitching video for the Duomid yesterday, which will probably take some editing and some watching. This is going to be a 3-day trip, not my usual 4 days. I'm going to try, where possible, to get out twice a month down here, try and catch up with some camping and some sleep. But we'll just have to kind of sort of see how that goes moving forward. But if I do, then one of the trips will be my usual, hopefully 3-night affairs, and then the other one, if I can get down like this, would be just a 2-nighter. Now I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I'm going to mention it here. There is a time where 2 of something isn't enough, and you always need to make sure that you've got backup, because would you ever believe it, and I don't know whether my main lighter became damaged or what, but I'm very, very sure that there was fuel in it from last time. I'm very, very sure I didn't empty it last time. And I went to make my cup of tea last night when I got here, and I tried to light it, and of course it didn't work. And I looked, and there's no fuel inside it now. I'm not sure whether it's become damaged or what. The bottom part does seem loose, so I'm wondering whether I've had a leakage from it. So I need to check that carefully when I get back. Of course, I have an emergency repair kit. I did a video on my first aid kit, which I've not edited yet, on my last trip, but I have an emergency repair kit which just has some very basic emergency items in it, one of which is a spare lighter, just a normal cheapy Bic type of lighter. And I thought, oh, that's okay, I'll just about with a, it's not very good for lighting meths, in fact it's pretty rubbish, but it's lightweight and I thought it'd be useful. It doesn't work. I can't get the thing to turn on it at all. It doesn't work. So 2 lighters kaput. Luckily, although I am rationed because these are finite, I also in my emergency pack had some lighters. Now, like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on this, so I'm kind of going to be repeating myself, but I think it is kind of important that it's in a couple of places. So basically, in a nutshell, before you go, maybe check your main lighter. Maybe once or twice a year, check your backup lighter. I've not checked or looked at this for years. And obviously make sure that you have matches with you, even if it's, you know, just a few, you know, at least you can get some hot food and drink occasionally. It's not like a lighter where you can have many teas and things like that. And luckily this is a 2-nighter, not a 3-nighter, otherwise I'd be rationing them even more. I know you could use a fire starter. I always used to carry one, but with these meth stoves that I now use, you're not going to be able to light them with that. I've tried and I just gave up. You know, the old type where the liquid was in and you could get us back into the liquid. Now that I was an expert at lighting those, but since I've switched to these smaller units, and you have to put the liquid into that material-y stuff, you can't light those with a fire lighter, unfortunately. Well, I've not. I wasn't able to. That's why I have a turbo flame lighter to get the flame into the material to get it to light. So what I've been doing, I've used 3 so far. I had 12. So I'm eking out. Lassie, go back a minute. So I'm eking out 12 over, like, you know, 2 nights and a day and a bit. Okay, I've got 1 pot. You could almost do with an extra pot in this situation, but you know, you can't carry everything. What are you going to do? Carry the kitchen sink. So basically I've got 1 pot and 1 cup. I mean, Lassie's got some bowls, but I'm not going to start using Lassie's bowls. What I did last night was I filled up the pot, boiled the water in the pot, poured the water from the pot into my cup, but kept it burning. I didn't turn it, I didn't blow it out, because once you blow it out, that's it. You know, you've got another lighter is needed, or another match. So I then just added more water to the pot, let that boil, and then I added my noodles. And of course, when I was packing in my emergency lighters, which again was years ago, and I packed in 12, I was packing in thinking for, you know, I was doing 1 night camps. When I did this, I was doing 1 night camps. So 12 matches for 1 night, you know, and obviously a bit of a day each side, you know, that'd be plenty. You could have, you know, copious, you know, cups of tea. So I think I'll be going through my emergency kit and adding some matches and things like that in the future. Good morning, everybody. It's currently 8:30 and I've made a tea. What I've done, Lassie, stay there. Stay there. Lassie's decided to pay a visit. I did not have an extra tea last night, so, and I don't know where I've put them now, there. So I had 5 matches left. Oops, just dropped one. So 5 matches left from this morning, or for this morning, and I didn't have a tea at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock as I usually do when I wake up, so there's 4 left, because I literally just woke up in the last half hour or something like that. I might even put my head down for a few more minutes later, see. So I've made a tea. Now, to make each match last, I've basically made 1 cup here, and then I have filled my pot to the very, very top of boiling water. Now, as long as I don't knock it over or do anything stupid, and given that it's not cold here, that will stay hot for quite a while. So I can get a couple more teas out of that over the next half hour, 40 minutes or so. But this is a really perfect time of the year to be camping. This is probably my favourite time in a way. You're probably more likely to get more people out this time of the year, but then if you find somewhere like this where there's nobody around, then it doesn't matter whether you're going to get other people around or not, or out and about. It's so mild and warm that you can walk around barefoot, you know, you can take your shirt off, you haven't got to put like loads of layers on. It really is a beautiful time to camp now. It really is. What I've done this time, and I hope the sound is okay, I've got the long line there. When you have it going down your front, you haven't got quite so much that way. I've stuck it here, if you can see that. So I've got the microphone stuck there. I did try to use the last sticky thing, because I only used it last time just to show it for quite literally 5 minutes. But one thing you definitely can't do is reuse them. So with those Roclite sticky things, once you've used it, they definitely won't be used again. And I do think if you're going to stick it to your front, you definitely really do need to have it wirelessly to this, because it's just a little bit inconvenient with the wire going down the front and then in that way. Anyway, it works okay, and I just wanted to just do a quickie. It's just do a quickie. Okay, well, so I've been here since Thursday, sort of really early evening. Obviously all day yesterday, Friday, and today I just saw 2 people just walk across the top here, walk past Lassie backed at something, and it was just a couple of people. Lassie has found a good place to cool off. I'm just looking down because I'm walking barefoot. She's so well hidden, I can't even see if you can see her. Yeah. Yeah, so Lass has found a very good place there to cool off, keep cool. But it's been a very relaxing few days, just doing sweet FA. Sorry if to most of you it's not that exciting. I probably should just delete this and not bother uploading it, but like I said, I know one or two of you enjoy my little waffling bits in between you know, the little sub video things that I'm doing at the moment. I'm just tired these days, and I just don't have so much energy and what have you to be doing, you know, a load of walking. And I must admit, this is just very relaxing. It's just nice to get out here and just pitch and do and do nothing, just annoy all you lot. And to be honest, even if I wasn't tired, even if I was wide awake and as fit as Rambo or something like that, it is still nice to pitch up and do nothing. I must admit, it is nice to, and it is just so quiet and peaceful here. You've just got the breeze, of course, the ponies which walked right past yesterday. Quite literally, they were walking, some of them right up here, up over there, and there was a couple that were right on top of this ridge up here. I eked out my matches very well. I've still got 2 left, so I'll be able to have another tea later on. I'll actually have, in the end, 1 spare match, I think. So maybe I could have had an extra tea at some point or other this trip, but it's actually worked out. It's worked out okay. So if anyone needs to know how many matches you need as a minimum per day, well, 4. That's the minimum, and that's how I just about got through like 3 days and 2 nights. Obviously the first night was literally, I got here late, so 1 match. Did my first night, and I basically just sort of boiled the water, had a tea from that water, added more water, and then made my dinner, and then I didn't have another tea, which is unusual for me. Normally I would have had another tea, another tea, but I was quite tired, so I wasn't too bothered. And then yesterday I must have used about 6. I think I'd factored in 7 for yesterday, given that I, you know, had, and I was factoring in 4 for today, but I think I used 6 yesterday. I think I probably used 5 today, which means I'll have you know, one spare. So probably better to have one spare than not spare. The only thing is, now I've got this sticky thing stuck here, I've got to think about what I do with the wire now, because I'm still in camp and I don't really want to just take it off because that wastes a sticky. I might shove it down my trouser, shove it down my pants or something like that. I could wrap it around something, couldn't I? That's actually quite another useful another useful purpose that us men have. We can wrap wires around it for storage. Oh God. Okay, all right, well, let me just show you briefly in camp, because I know you're all not interested, so I'll show you anyway. Okay, well, I've not collapsed or undone the airbeds yet. That's one of the other things to do. I've put all the nighttime stuff in the nighttime bag. Obviously trousers to go on later on. I did bring my Rolex box for the new watch, which is this one here, because I did do an unboxing video which I know will be unpopular with some of you, but I did it a little bit different this time. Rather than just, you know, straight unboxing in camp, I went down the valley, and as I walked up the valley I gave a little bit of history of the watch. Probably going to get wet feet walking back to the car because it was quite wet underfoot getting here, but I've done a sub video on wet feet and embracing wet feet, because wet feet really isn't a problem. You know, we can manage wet feet easily enough. Okay, so we've attached the wire to this. Testing, levels seem okay. So hopefully I just attach this. I haven't put my trousers on yet. I'm sure you've had enough of a crotch shot. I'm sure you don't want to keep seeing I'm sure you don't want to keep seeing my crotch every 2 bloody minutes. So we'll put this hopefully off camera down my pants. Right, so okay, so that's attached there. Now I've got a wire hanging out. I've got a wire hanging out my pants now. That's not really how I'm endowed. It's not really as floppy and skinny as that, really. And of course, when you do it like that, your fluffy bit that, you know, would go on the bit that you stick up here, you need to then keep your fluffy bit safe. So I'll put that in the camera bag there. Okay, so the time is, okay, I switched watches and, okay, I'm a bit slow on this one. Hang on a minute, I'll just, so now it's 2:20 lined up now. Okay, because I hadn't worn it for a few days, it had slowed down. Okay, so it's 2:20, so I'm gonna finish Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I've done quite a bit of packing. I probably should have put the weather station up last night, to be honest, because it'd be interesting to know what the temperature is. And maybe I just have a quick nose in a minute just to see what it was, but it was quite mild last night. It's easily the warmest camp of the year so far by a long way. I mean, I've just got my t-shirt on and my underwear on down below at the moment, and it's, mind you, I've got the shelter here, of course, which is keeping all the wind out. It's mind you, probably some wind in as well, probably. It probably would be a little bit cooler out in the breeze, but not by much. Sun cream, which I've not really used. Probably really ought to use sun cream a bit more often, to be honest. And then the the bomb sight over here, which really isn't that much, just a wind shirt which can go on the outside of the pack somewhere. My trousers, obviously my shirt, I will put my shirt on when I start walking. The trousers are really disappointing. They're very comfortable, but the pockets are absolutely SH it on them. There's really poor design from Montane. It's very disappointing for a top brand like Montane not to put a zip on outdoor trousers. So my wallet keeps, it doesn't really fall out when I'm walking, but if I'm in camp moving around it drops out. So I'm talking about the wallet. So I'm going to sort of put that in at the last minute in the trousers, but when I'm in camp I tend to take it out and stash it safe somewhere. What I tend to do with this tiny bit of Cuban is I tend to put it right next to where I'm, where my bed is, as it were, and then sort of stretch it out forward, and then I can sort of tiptoe walk across it to a safe distance. You know, it's only like 3 feet long or 2.5 feet long or something like that. It's quite long for some, isn't it? Mind you, if you're a blue whale, it'd be quite short, wouldn't it? Imagine a blue whale with a 2.5 foot one. Mind you, there might be about 2.5 feet there. Well, they like 2.5 meters or something like that. And we need David Attenborough, don't we? Anyway, so I can just stand on that, then I can just sort of be just outside the shelter and have a pee quite successfully like that. It works quite well, actually. I did do a video on what I do for a living, but I'll hang on to that one for a little while. There's no rush to upload that one. And I've got some other sub videos to do as well. I've done a few sub videos on this trip, so I'll save packing the pack, you know, for another time. I did do one last year or the year before or something, so no immediate rush on that. All right, that's enough of me waffling for another 8 minutes aimlessly. Do people really get this far of some bloke in a tent just chatting away, really about nothing, just about sitting in a tent, really? That's what I'm talking about, is sitting in a tent, not really giving any factual information in these videos or anything. Anyway, like I said, oh no, another video I ought to do at some point. I don't think I'll do it this trip now, but another video I ought to do is, you know, maybe drop a comment below, might remind me as well if it's of interest. It's solo, you know, camping. What's it like, you know, by yourself camping, and what can you do to, you know, if you've never done it before, camping that is, by yourself, you know, what's it like, how you can overcome any fears or worries or anything like that. So that might be worth, I'm sure there are like a dozen or more videos like that already on YouTube, but not by me there aren't. So that might be another video that I could do. And I still haven't done a video on the cooking system yet. So, you know, there are still lots of like little small videos that I can, you know, that I can do around everything as well. Well, we've packed everything up. I've put everything in the pack. Lassie's got a few bits in her pack that she can carry. My camera bag, I've just got to finish packing up the camera in there. And of course I've put my stones back, 1, 2, 3 stones replaced for leave no trace. One thing I just need to be a bit careful of is I have attached the microphone to my chest, so I'm pretty sure you're picking me up okay, but every time I tuck my shirt in it keeps pulling on the wire, so I'm trying to make sure I keep some slack under my shirt, because every time I tuck my shirt in I keep using up all that slack. So it's okay this time of the year when I can get under my shirt to release some wire. I'm not quite sure how effective that would be in the winter though, so I don't think in the winter time having the microphone stuck to my chest is the best of options, but I stuck it there earlier on, so I thought I'd just leave it there now. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps that up. To be honest, there's nothing else much to be said, you know, other than thanks for watching. And as usual, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.